Hey everybody, so I thought of a name for the one or two, maybe extremely, if I'm being extremely optimistic, 5 people that may follow this. I thought of a name to name you guys, and so I'm gonna call you guys the Paleteers. Did you get it? Paleteers, because you palate, and because you like to experiment on different things, so you really enjoy the flavors, different foods and variety, and you kind of bold that way. So anyway, to my palateers, showed you how to make kombucha and everything, and I showed you when I made the juice for the kombucha. I used apples, I used about a pound of ginger, and I used 3 lemons, and I used about 25 grams of turmeric. And so what I'm going to do now, I was going to throw all that pulp away, but I decided to save it. This is from my juicer. And so this is the pulp from my juicer. So I decided to save it. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to boil it. And I'm going to boil it in 6 quarts of water. And so I'm going to put this in right now. Okay, so get all this in there. So I got all that in there. And that's about the amount of apples I put in there was about 4 pounds of apples that went through the juicer. So that's all the pulp from the apples and from a pound of ginger and 25 grams of turmeric and 3 lemons. And so I'm gonna put that in there, and I already had about 2 quarts of water in there. And so I'm gonna put the sugar in now. I'm gonna use 2 cups of sugar. Put 2 cups of sugar in there. And what I want to do actually is I want to bring this to a slow boil. So I'm turning it down on low to bring it to a slow boil. So I'm gonna stir it up real quick. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 2 peppercorns in there because this is like a ginger, almost like a ginger beer. So I wanted to have a little bit of the heat. And I've tried it with 10 peppercorns and it's like just way too much. Then I went down to like 7, still way too much. Went down to 5, still way too much. And so with 2, you still get that, believe it or not, you still get a nice heat from that. So I'm gonna put 2 of those in there. Then I have some allspice berries. And I'm gonna put 5 allspice berries in there. Okay, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 5 allspice berries. Put those in there. And this is kind of to make that spicy ginger flavor. And then I'm gonna put 2 whole cloves in there as well, and that kind of gives that aromatic scent and flavor to it. Okay, so putting all that in there, I'm gonna stir it up. Okay. Now, I'm going to finish adding the water to it. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. It looks like it kind of looks like a pot of garbage, but because some of the things didn't blend as much as the other ones through my juicer. But so this is kind of what it looks like right here. Okay, so you can see chunks of apples in there, and there's ginger in there, and there's lemon, turmeric, and everything else. So I'm gonna do a slow boil for about 10 minutes. And then after it slow boils for 10 minutes, then I'm gonna let it cool down to room temperature. After I let it cool down to room temperature, I'm gonna strain that into like 2 pitchers like this right here. And then I'm gonna add probably a half a cup of my ginger bug to that. And I'm gonna put that in bottles and let it just sit for 24 hours. And hopefully it'll be nice and carbonated and have a nice, strong, peppery ginger flavor. Again, we don't have to worry so much about the sugar. This for some reason, this ginger bug eats that sugar up super quick. Like if you left it for like 3 days, you would almost have no sweetness whatsoever in there because it eats it up so quick. But if you leave it for like a day, you still have a little bit of sweetness, but it's not over sugary. And so you don't have to worry that you're getting a lot of sugar from this. All right, so that's it. And so I'll make another video once it's cooled. And after it's cooled, then I'll show you the next step that I already talked about. All right, Palateers, hope you enjoy.